Leslie told me that a few years ago, she and Peter went to Baja, Mexico, and they went there to see the whales. Their guides took us to Magdala Bay on the Pacific side of Baja, and they got into a small little boat. The lagoon was full of gray whales and their calves. One mother and baby came up to the boat and swam around the boat and let them touch their nose, or let each of them kiss her. It was such a wonderful moment. Thank you.
So,
oh, sorry. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Chris, we're going to have Chris give the speech objectives for Leslie.
So I'm going to be evaluating Leslie. My name's Chris. The title of Leslie's speech is Learning to Drive. It's out of the manual, 6 to 8 minutes. Interesting note, it's a story that Leslie is planning on submitting for publication. Her objectives are to be sharp and concise with no extraneous words, for her story to be very clear, and for her story to contain lots of humor.
What does out of the manual mean?
It means it's not from a Toastmasters manual. It's her own speech that she came up with outside of the manual.
So, in 1978, I graduated from Simmons School of Social Work with an MSW. And I think about that because when I graduated, I was finally going to have to learn to drive. Now, I come from New York, and in New York, it doesn't even make sense to have a car, forget knowing how to drive. So I never learned. And on my first day of school at Simmons, we're sitting in the lunchroom, and this young woman walks in, she's very pale and shaky, and she said, are you all social work students? And we said, yeah. Aren't you? And she said, well, I thought so, but now I think I might have to drop out of school. What? Look what it took to get in here. What do you mean dropping out? And well, we drove up to Pennsylvania and it was fine until we got to this big roundabout at the bottom of Route 2 in Cambridge. And I drove in and I was in there for 2 hours. I didn't know how to drive out. Finally, my husband said, okay, this is it. And he made me drive into the yard in the middle of the circle, and he took over the wheel. And that's the only way we got out of the rotary. And so now, I mean, I don't know if I can go to school if I can't drive and run a rotary. And everyone said, oh, come on, that's a rite of passage in Boston. Come on, you know, you don't even get to be called a Boston driver unless you take out 2 fenders on your way through. So, you know, this is just part of the course. And I remember that because now I was going to have to go and take driving lessons. Oh my God. So I find this guy, Ray, who they tell me is really a pro with this stuff, and I think he's going to have to be a pro because he's going to have to deal with me. I mean, he's not going to get me behind the wheel, but he did. So the first thing I said to him is, look, I'm a virgin behind the wheel, and can you maybe not take us around the rotary for the first lesson? Big mistake. He was a retired Marine drill sergeant. Where did we head? Fresh Pond Rotary. This is before they put the lights in. Well, I remember that student, and I knew what I was going to do. So I shut my eyes and started driving. And he was getting very nervous. This is a guy who did 3 tours of Vietnam, and his voice is going up. And he said, Leslie, open your eyes. And I said, I'm not going to open my eyes. I don't care if he's going to read. What is he going to do to me? So I just kept my eyes shut. And I could hear his voice rising higher and higher. And finally he said, Leslie, open your eyes! And in drill sergeant's tone voice, and I opened my eyes. And he said, get out of this damn thing. So I didn't really look, my eyes were open, but I just shot out of there. I think I took off the outside driver's mirror on a Beamer, but you know, hey, it's easy, you come and go, you know. So I finally did. I got close to getting my license, but there was one last little problem in Jamaica Plain. This is before they fixed up the Forestville station. And I couldn't make it out. I was in the dark. I'm single in the dark. I get to this rotary, and of course, rotary, what do I know from rotaries? I end up driving on the Orange Line tracks. And now Ray is starting to smell. And I remember my psychopathology professor saying, if somebody starts to smell bad, it's a sure sign they're afraid. And he really smells bad. So I didn't say anything because I didn't want to embarrass him, and that's important when you're a social worker, you don't want to embarrass people. But at least, you know, we got out of there, and I got off the Orange Line tracks. I remember some people screaming on the platform. I don't know if it had anything to do with me. I got off as soon as I could. Anyway, I finally took my exam, I got my license, and Ray was so happy, or maybe he was relieved, I'm not sure. But I was very happy. I found a job right away. It was 4 miles, 2 lights, and no rotaries from my house.
Thank you so much, Leslie. That was a very entertaining speech. Now we've come to the section of the meeting where we're going to have table topics. Table topics is going to be done by Rich, and he tells me that the best memory he has is when his first son was born, his first child, and he was so excited that he was driving his car out, and he drove it into a parking gate, and he made a hole in his trunk. That would cause a lot of excitement.
Speaking of driving.
Yeah, I was teaching him.